The witch cult is a secretive organization shrouded in mystery and confusion. It has existed for over 400 years, dating back to the time when witches freely roamed the land. The cult acts unpredictably, appearing without warning and causing widespread destruction. Very little is known about the witch cult, as getting information from its members is nearly impossible. They are fiercely loyal and never betray their cause. What we do know is that they are a fanatical group devoted to worshipping Satella, the witch of envy. The cult is led by the Sin Archbishops, who thrive on chaos and embrace the deadly sins, believing in the resurrection of Satella. More on this shortly. Around 400 years ago, 6 witches lived, each representing one of the deadly sins: greed, Goyoku; pride, Guma; wrath, Fundo; gluttony, Boshoku; sloth, Taida; lusts, Shikioku; and envy, Shito. Additionally, 2 individuals preside over the archaic sins: Vainglory, Kyoshoku; and melancholy, Yutsu. We begin with Satella, the witch of envy. Satella is a powerful and misunderstood entity responsible for consuming half the world in an event known as the Great Calamity. Beneath Satella are the witches of sin, 6 other witches, each embodying one of the deadly sins. Echidna, the witch of greed, is known for creating the sanctuary, a place she used for her experiments. It is said that at some point, Echidna became obsessed with the idea of immortality. Many speculate that this was driven by her greed for knowledge, as one lifetime was not enough for her. However, there may be other reasons behind this obsession. Daphne, the witch of gluttony, is responsible for creating Mabeasts, or witch beasts. Following her desire to eliminate hunger from the world, she created the 3 great witch beasts, which we will explore later in the video. Typhone, the witch of pride, appears as a childlike figure who judges others. Her power shatters the bodies of those she deems guilty. Her childlike appearance mirrors her naive and simplistic view of justice. She views the world as a child. Carmilla, the witch of lust, controls emotions and manipulates heart. Her ability can make others fall in love with anyone she chooses, and it was said that nations once went to war over her beauty. Minerva, the witch of wrath, has the ability to heal others by striking them. Despite her violent methods, her true desire is to save people from suffering. Seckmet, the witch of sloth, is infamous for her extreme laziness, yet she wields overwhelming power. Despite her lethargic nature, she is one of the strongest witches. Satella is often seen as a purely evil figure throughout the story. However, by the end of part 1 of season 2, after her reunion with the other witches, something doesn't quite add up. You would expect them to confront Satella for killing them, but their reaction hints at something deeper, leaving us questioning her true nature. The 6 witches of sin died after a tragic conflict triggered by Satella, the witch of envy, who absorbed their powers and consumed half the world, leading to their eventual demise in an event dubbed the Great Calamity. After each one of the witches died, their witch factor have been inherited by a person who will become known as a Sin Archbishop. The witch factor of Sloth fell into the hands of Petelgeuse Romani. Conti, the Sin Archbishop of Sloth, a madman fanatically devoted to Satella. Petelgeuse's twisted understanding of love drove him to insanity. He wielded the power of the unseen hand, a dangerous ability granted through his authority of sloth. Beneath Petelgeuse were his fingers, devoted followers who acted as spare bodies for him to possess whenever necessary. These 10 witch cultists served as his sub-commanders, each leading groups of lower-ranking cultists. The witch factor of greed fell into the hands of Regulus Cornelius, the Sin Archbishop of Greed. He is a narcissistic and cruel individual with immense power who thinks the world should bend to his will. He has absolute rights and is famous for his line. Up to this moment in the story, Regulus seems to be the strongest archbishop, as attacks are not allowed to touch him. Up to 100 years ago, Regulus has 78 wives, and during the attack on Elior Forest, he came to the forest to take Fortuna as his 79th wife. During these 100 years, he took on many more wives, and now he has 291. He intends to make Amelia his 292 wife as a replacement for Fortuna, whom he could not marry. The Lich of Gluttony, Daphne, created monstrous creatures known as witch beasts. Among them are the 3 great witch beasts, which she created to prevent hunger. The white whale, a terrifying beast that terrorized the world for centuries, even killing their Seah van Astrea, a former sword saint, and Wilhelm van Astria's wife, the great rabbit. A swarm of countless identical creatures that share the same consciousness, making them incredibly hard to kill. Subaru, Emilia, and Beatrice ultimately gathered them in one place, where Beatrice used the spell Al-Shamaik, possibly the strongest spell in the series. See the Magic Relationships tree video for more information. Beatrice achieved this spell by expending all the mana she had saved over 400 years while staying in the library. The Black Serpent, the deadliest of the 3, still roaming the world. Its appearance remains unknown, as anyone who sees it dies moments later. It was involved in the attack on Elior Forest, led by Pandora and Regulus, before the permafrost incident. Out of these, only the Black Serpent remains free, with its whereabouts and form shrouded in mystery. There are many smaller witch beasts that roam the world, each with unique traits and dangers. Black-winged mice, small creatures resembling bats with black wings and red eyes. Wolgams, dangerous beasts living in the forest near Arlem village. Their bites inflict curses that can only be removed by a skilled magic user. Guilty Low, a witch beast controlled by melee, used to attack the mansion during Arc 4 of the series. Snowblight, found in snowy environments, last seen in Elior Forest, and attacked a group of bandits. Rock pigs, massive beasts with jet black skin, flat teeth, and incredible strength. Their only weak spot is their lighter colored belly. One fought Frederica Bowman and was later killed by Garfield Tinsel. Double-headed serpents, large snakes with red eyes and dark, thick bodies. These witch beasts, while not as powerful as the 3 great witch beasts, still pose significant threats throughout the world. Now, for the most wanted Archbishop of them all, Gluttony. The witch factor of Gluttony was inherited by Lybat and Kaitos, so now he is the Sin Archbishop of Gluttony, who has the ability to consume memories, names, and identity. This leaves his victims forgotten and effectively erased from existence due to what he did to Ren. He now is the most disliked Archbishop in the series. There is much more to discuss about Gluttony, which we will reveal in the spoiler section of the video. This won't spoil any plot points regarding Lai's fate, but rather provide important information related to the subject of the video. The witch factor of wrath resides within Sirius, the Sin Archbishop of Wrath. Obsessed with Petelgeuse, she is a deranged woman capable of manipulating the emotions of others, amplifying them to dangerous extremes. This leads to chaos and mass hysteria wherever she goes. The witch factor of lust was inherited by Capella Emerada Ludnica, the Sin Archbishop of Lust. She is a sadistic and manipulative individual, notorious for her cruel nature. Among the Sin Archbishops, Capella is often regarded as having the worst personality due to her extreme selfishness and twisted behavior. On the other hand, information about the Sin Archbishop of Pride remains undisclosed. The identity and abilities of Pride have yet to be revealed. The Sin Archbishop of Envy is not represented, because there is no witch factor for envy that can be inherited. However, the authority of the Witch of Envy resides with Subaru, granting him the ability Return by Death. This power allows Subaru to return to a specific point in time whenever he dies, giving him the chance to alter events and try again, though he cannot reveal or discuss this ability with others. There are 2 additional sins in Melancholy and Vainglory. The Warlock of Melancholy is still alive, and his soul resides within Roswaal. This was confirmed in Season 2 in 2 instances. First, when Roswaal's manner of speaking changed after his confrontation with the Warlock. And second, when Roswaal's Book of Wisdom was thrown into the fire, causing his eye to throb so intensely that he felt it might fall off. As for Vainglory, little is known. The Witch of Vainglory, Pandora, last appeared 100 years ago during the attack on Elior Forest, and her current status remains a mystery. She is also responsible for recruiting most of the cult members. Beneath each of the archbishops are witch cultists, shadowy-like figures who perform small tasks like killing a person or a couple of people. We already talked about the Sin Archbishop of Gluttony, but to give more information, Gluttony is divided into 3 entities: Libate Kaitis, Roy Alphard, and Louis Alneb, each representing one of the 3 different aspects: gourmet, satiation, and bizarre eating. Lai represents gourmet, Luz represents satiation, while Roy represents bizarre eating. We already talked about the Archbishop of Lust, but to expand, she goes around the world collecting people whom she calls her children. Elsa and Meili are in fact 2 of her children. Due to Meili's divine protection, she is able to control Mabeasts. And Elsa, on the other hand, was used to perform assassination missions. One of the Gluttony siblings was also one of her children.